Tonight, more lawsuits directed against the parents that the feds say tried to lie and tried to cheat their kids' ways into school. As more people come forward to sue the schools themselves, as well as the parents, you know what? It remains unclear what's going to happen to the kids that engaged in this cheating scandal. But I'll tell you one thing that is clear, very clear to me, is that as a society, we put way too much emphasis on that slip of paper, that college diploma. The diploma has become a brand in and of itself. And let me be clear, learning should never be about a brand. I mean, learning is about learning, right? For learning's sake. And learning, the real kind, actually never ends after 4 years. Every minute of every day, we should be challenging ourselves to grow intellectually, to stay curious about the world. And yet, that's not happening. Instead, there's some ridiculous power play going on with families struggling to keep up with or stay ahead of the neighbors. Colleges are these status symbols that they seek. They want to be able to say, hey, my kid goes to such and such, or my kid goes to this one or that one. I mean, how many times do you see parents driving around town with the college sticker plastered against their rear window? Okay, we get it. Your kid goes to whatever. But that's your kid, not you. A brand, a diploma, a party scene, and an elite set of friends. You know, that's not what college is supposed to be about. College is supposed to be about learning. But somehow now that message gets continually lost, and somehow it's okay for it to get lost. I'll tell you, it doesn't help when you get kids like this young woman, Olivia Jade, Laughlin's daughter, out there saying things like, she doesn't know how many classes she's going to be able to attend. She just wants to experience the partying scene. And I quote, I don't really care about school. That's what she told her Instagram fans. Well then, why go? I mean, why waste the professor's time? Why waste your own time? And why are you wasting $500,000 plus of your parents' money? Here's the bottom line. College, for many, is a giant waste. They'd be better off taking time to work. Yeah, imagine that, work. Be an apprentice in a trade. It's not that I don't respect higher education, I do, and I've actually had plenty of it, but I don't respect the idea of going to college just for the sake of going to college. Colleges should be more selective, and families should recognize that a slip of paper from one school or another is really not worth much. A lot of students would be wise to figure that out sooner rather than later, given all the debt they accumulate. That diploma that they've paid so much money for, that diploma and $5 might not even buy them a macchiato at Starbucks. Here with me now to react to all of it, presidential historian Doug Wead. Doug, it used to be that college was kind of a big deal. Not everybody went to college, and that was pretty cool if you could actually go and you went there to, you know, learn. Maybe there was some social stuff too, but you went there for a reason, for a purpose. And now it seems to me that it's just sort of like you're checking a box. You're going off to college, somehow, some way. Your parents may go into massive debt. You may go into massive debt, but you're determined to go there for 4 years to get what? A piece of paper?
You know who was way ahead of this, Trish? Ivanka Trump. For years, she's been teaching that you get a dream and you do the work. If you can get an education, do that too. But my daughters read her book in 2009 where she said you can get an education, but if you don't do the work, your dreams still aren't going to come true anyway. And if we eliminated from public life, I just love this, all the people who dropped out after 1 year, college dropouts, we'd lose Oprah Winfrey and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Richard Branson and Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg didn't finish?
We'd lose Tom Brokaw, who didn't finish. We'd lose some of our greatest.
You'd lose Taylor Swift.
Mark Twain, yeah. William Faulkner. We'd lose Truman, Capote.
Listen, hey, I think your point is well made. You don't need a college degree to be successful. And actually, when you look at some of the most innovative people in our society, whether it be in tech, whether it be in literature, whether it be in music, they didn't need a 4-year stamp of approval, right, in order to achieve what they accomplished. Granted, you know, maybe it helps along the way, and I understand parents wanting to help their kids. I mean, not like that. And I would argue that Lori Loughlin and the rest of them did nothing to help their kids, because that actually just, you know, tells your kid that they can be a real screw up and somehow mommy and daddy are going to pay their way out of it. But that said, you know, people want to do the right thing by their children, but I just think it might be misguided. I mean, like, maybe kids are too young at 18 years old. Maybe they don't have an appreciation for the learning and the hard work that needs to go in to school.
Well, you know, I write history, and I love history, and two of our greatest presidents had no education at all. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. And when Gus
formal
Washington...
education.
That's right. When Gus Washington was dying, there at the foot of his bed was that 11-year-old boy, George. His two older brothers got the education and the training in the ironworks, but it was George they'd name the city after and would be our first president. So you got to have a dream. You got to do something. As Ivanka Trump said, you got to do the work. And a degree helps if you can get a degree. I suppose if you want to be a professor at Berkeley, you better get a degree at one of those socialist colleges.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, I wonder if we've sort of reached the tipping point in this, and maybe this story in particular and this example has shown us as a country that we kind of need to rethink it all. I mean, parents are so desperate. Your kid just has to go to school at 18 years old, right straight to a four-year college, and maybe that's not the best path for everyone.
This was an eye-opener.
We should be open, I think, to a lot of different paths, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
because that's part of the diversity of our society, and we need people in different fields, and not everybody has to fit some cookie-cutter little box.
Yeah, we got to inspire people to have dreams and to do the work. And a degree doesn't hurt.
But it's not going to make or break you.
If you don't pay for it. But it's not going to make or break you.
Doug, it's good to see you. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
All right, coming up, we got a lot more. The United Nations says if we want to save the planet,